Welcome back to Factorio MSX Gigabase. So we're over here at Southwest Oil, probably being at this extreme sort of map view or zoom isn't helping. Actually, the reason I was there, let's just get back into it, was to check. I've done a blueprint of this new Southwest Oil. I wanted to see how this would fit in regards to the existing, and it looks like we can reuse where all of these oils are and this oil path in. We just have to rip up all the rest of this stuff. So to that end, I think what I'll do is I'll lay down the landfill and put the third one in. So we have to basically get up to about that point with landfill. So we'll lay landfill there to there. Let's get out of the Infini-Zoom. See if we can get some DPS back. I moved the landfill train over here. I've also had to do a bit of tweaking down this path. It potentially gets very congested, and I mean it still does. In hindsight, I think I have too many things here. I started off with the idea that it was Circuit Alley, and then I started adding in all these other things that were consumers of the circuits, which seemed like a good idea, but really the capacity of this pathway is stressed beyond what it can readily deal with. So yeah, in hindsight, perhaps it would have been better to have at least had all of these space components going down in a completely separate pathway. It's probably too late to worry about that now. I'm not going to completely rip them up, but I'll bear it in mind for future maps. So what are we doing at the moment? Let's forget about 5 seconds. That doesn't really mean anything. Well, we've now got yellow up to the 6000, so it's burnt through all of the buffer, and that's the real heavy. Well, these two are the fairly heavy hitters. Plus space science, which is sort of starting and stopping a little bit. We are doing 6,000 a minute. It's expected that this one jumps up and down a bit because when it's running, it tends to be at about 7,000 a minute. So it gets ahead of itself, shuts off, then drops down below the threshold, jumps back into action. That's kind of how it works. So the factory is running at maximum, which we haven't really been doing to check before, so it's a little bit hard to judge oil on this new oil based on this factory, because this is maximum now. This is our maximum output, as long as we don't have shortages. Potentially we still need to push this, since that's 38,000, and this is only running at, well, per 455,000 consumption per minute of iron, whereas we're producing only 410. But I guess it's all right. Electronic circuits are way in excess of consumption at the moment. Steel plate way down at the moment, interestingly enough. All right, so yes, let's proceed with the plan. So on the basis of what I just saw, I think, well, first of all, I guess we're going to want to block over, well, we can do that later. Let's do the priorities, which is head over to this landmass and join it up, which will conveniently save us a bit of landfill. I think I used the artillery train to clear off any biters that were present. So here we go. If not, we'll see very soon. But no, it looks pretty clear to me. So basically, we wanted to go from about this point here. Give us sufficient landfill. And unfortunately this exercise is even slower than usual, given the rather pathetic UPS we have. But this exercise will help, and when we've done the other one, that's probably as good as we're going to be able to get it. in my future playthroughs, because I think we've probably done enough in this one, I will have to consider the train congestion issue to an even greater degree, I think, because that's where I'm most likely to be able to see some savings over the efficiency of this factory. So this shouldn't take too long to fill in, although I might end up speeding it up a bit, because it's not the exciting, sexy part of the whole process. Oops. Don't want those little just get a bit more efficiency. Whoop, that's it for the first brush. Actually, yeah, I need to get to the top of this moat. It's a lot easier not having to worry about making these moats. In fact, the whole nuclear thing would be a lot easier not having to worry about the moat as well. But, of course, as I mentioned when I picked up that waterfill mod, it pretty much trivializes any form of biters. I mean, you can just put a moat around anything important and they'll never be attacked. And if you put them far enough away, the spitters won't be able to reach them, so it's infinite defense for a lot less than the price you're supposed to pay to achieve that. Unless, of course, you're playing without biters at all, which is valid. I don't know why my mouse is playing up, but it is. That's fine. The slow run back. Now with almost mining productivity at 300, the landfill supply that we're using at the moment is so vast that it's really not likely to be an issue ever again. As in, we'll never need to move on. I mean, there's a limited amount of this landfill that we're going to have to do, and we've got 70 million times, what is it now, 300 mining products, so that's times 4 basically. Oh no, it's double, isn't it? So that's 6 plus 1, 7, so we've got 47 million times 7. That's just insanely massive. Now, I think I've mentioned this before, but it's probably worth iterating again. The mining product, because we're running on marathon tech prices, it's worth noting that if we compare the amount of mining product, we don't get any extra benefit for that mining productivity. It's the same as if we were doing it under vanilla, but each level of our mining productivity costs 4 times as much. That doesn't mean that if we hadn't done any, we'd have 4 times the mining productivity, as in we would be almost 1200. It's actually more double, because as the cost of the mining productivity ramps up with each level, that accounts for sort of half of the ramped up increase. So I mean, our cost for 300 is basically, it's close enough to vanilla cost for 600 levels of the mining productivity. Now, in contrast to that, the bot speed, we're simply 2 levels behind where we would be with the same spending on bot speed. I don't envisage us probably spending any more, as we've discussed before. As well. That's fine. How much more do we have there? I wonder, we might even need to send the landfill train away. But yeah, this is really ugh. Having less than 30 is really ugh. It's not worth having 6,000 science per minute if you're under 30. But we know how bad it gets and we know what we're doing will help. We just don't know exactly how much yet. We will soon. So we are almost done. Oops. Just trying to get the most effective sized brush, or use the size brush that we've got as effectively as I can to minimize the number of times we need to run backwards and forwards. Yeah, we're very close now. Yeah, unfortunately, because I had a major, I had several actually major train blockages that needed on the whole, very minor fixes to re-establish our process. But it was enough to mean that certain supplies weren't getting through, and so we're having to run absolutely everything at maximum at the moment. So this is, as I said, this is kind of as bad as it gets. I'm just going to fill in all of this. It will make it easier in the long run. And would you look at that? So let's get rid of the landfill train and our spare landfill. We will want some of it, so I'll keep some of it. How's our bot numbers doing? That's actually enough. And how many do we have down there? That's easily enough down there, it seems. So those two are good signs. I guess what I want to do is basically keep about a row. Now, the only way we're going to get this guy out of here is to manually maneuver it. And try not to get it smashed in the process, because that is definitely a risk. Keep a keen eye over there. We'll try and head in the wrong direction just to get out of the way, and then send it back to landfill, get rid of that destination, and leap out. Did we leap out? Yes. I couldn't see us. That is the problem with that level of zoom. Okay, so what I want to do is slap down the third of these three constructions that we now need with our new design. And then I actually have a bunch of construction bots. Well, I ordered a bunch of them. Hopefully they've come. Yes, they must have. Yes, we've got 1,000 bots in there. And it looks like 125 of the fancy chests. So with a bit of luck we can use that to move this lot when I deconstruct it, so that I can use the resources from here to build the one above it, and then with this clear build back this one. was kind of my strategy. So let's see how that works in practice. Vinny zoom, thanks. A little bit more. We need a little bit more than that. We just want to make sure. I mean, that should be fine. How much room do we actually have when this is placed here? There's a bit. It needs a bit of room. So something like that should do, as long as those are lined up, which they look like they are. Just confirm. Yeah, they're lined up. Okay. Let's go and get the bots, the various bots. I might even take mine out. Well, I don't actually have any bots on me right at the second, but see if I can get most of this built without my direct input, and we can just leave it to it. Come back when it's kind of done, sort of thing. Alright, let's grab the 1,000. How many are there actually? Yeah, exactly 1,000. Let's grab the 1,000 construction bots. And what else did we get? Oh yeah, the these fancy chests. Let's grab all of them. Auto trash. We don't want it to auto trash itself. There aren't 400, but that's okay. 125. Okay, that's fine. We will probably need extra beacons and things, but we can come back for that. We'll probably need a bit of extra rail as well. So let's grab that from up here. Rail. I'll also grab a bit of pipe. We may not have enough substations, because our new design uses a lot of substations. There's some extra beacons. There's some of our bots. Alright, let's run with that. Now, it probably doesn't matter if there's a train there. It would matter if there's a train here. So let us... Oh, I don't have my... let's do that. So trains won't go there. I need my red blueprints, the deconstruction planners. We don't need all of them, but whatever. And for the time being, we could probably throw those in there. So they'll start building out this rail. We're basically going to want this extra stuff. So, what have we got here? Don't know what that is. Let's just copy that for the purposes of applying some of the extra signals. Yeah, we don't need chests dumped down there. And there's a little bit of extra stuff up there that we can get rid of. Now, what we want to do... okay, I don't have any robo ports, so that's a slight drama. What we want to do is start ripping out this stuff. And I don't want to just exhaust my bots doing it. I want to get some I think I saw robo ports in one of those. One. That's not particularly useful. It will help though. Let's start with that one. I might have to grab some more. I didn't think this bit through. So, we've got power here. How about we slap down a robo port just here. Give it some construction bots. Make a bunch of things here. Give this a request for solid fuel in the amount of, I don't know, say 1,000, something like that. Rocket fuel in the amount of 300. Can that work? Don't you have power? No. We need some power poles. Does that have power? Maybe not. Does that have power? Yes. I probably actually need some logistic bots here as well. Just to sort this out. Which one was the one that I... there. Let's go steal some logistic bots. It's not really stealing, it's borrowing for a good cause. There should be a decent number of logistic bots in one of these. There. 212. Let's grab all of those. They're not going to need them here soon. And a few more robo ports to help this whole process out. Do you have power? You do. Alright, you can get a bunch of those, a couple of those. Just need to connect these as a network, like so. Probably do this one as well. And now now these bots should start doing a lot of the work for us. Which is certainly what I wanted. This is not so much what I wanted. We actually need to try and extend the bot coverage a little bit further, just to make this happen. How about I pick up that and that one, and then temporarily place one there. Try and get it connected. There we go. Now if I can lose most of the rest of these bots. This, of course, was going to do very nasty things to our UPS, I should imagine. But it is a lot easier than my bots and my recharging trying to do it all. We're going to need a few more of these guys. Don't even work. Not even sure. Just one big mess of bots everywhere at the moment. Let's see if I can extend the buffers. Should do for the moment. We may need the other one for plastic, or we may need another set of buffer boxes for plastic. Yeah, very good. Right, let us run to the top. So we're actually involved with something outside of the network of this lot. See if we can actually construct this part of the whole setup. How many bots do I actually have still loyal? Loyal bots. We don't need you, or you. Not going to need that, not going to need that. Which means we're not going to need all of these. This one can probably change to one of these. So I can see it. There we go. Yes, the construction manager's probably running wild. Oh, it's not too bad actually. Maybe it hasn't had a chance to fully register what it needs to do. Alright. Our collection needs to be given some help. And the charging needs to be given some help as well. Except that I can't see my fusion reactors in there, so never mind. Let's not worry about that. Let's just carry on down here. The bots lay what they can. I obviously completely forgot about tanks in this whole process. Looks like stations as well. Again, with the complete lack of charging, slowing the process down somewhat. So mining productivity 299 and 19,000 satellites, two sort of milestones in themselves. I guess we basically need that bit. Oops. Not sure that I need that one. Or was that what was being used to supply? I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. The bots can do a bit of a charge up while I extend the rail down here. Would you believe it? We are off track. Okay. Let's do that again. Very good. And that connects it up. Come on, bots, sort your act out. Okay, so we have cleaned out kind of half of that. I don't want to touch the plastic just yet, but all of this is fair game. Not quite sure why these guys... Oh, they've got nowhere to put anything at the moment. Alright. Oh, and these are radio, because that's out of power. That's what we needed. So, this line in is in the wrong spot. At this point. Let's just be a little bit mindful of leaving a little bit of this infrastructure here, although it looks like I've already lost that opportunity. Barely moving at this point. And we are throwing away the contents of all these pipes that we're picking up. That is probably not what I wanted to see. Damn it. I don't actually want the coal train unloading at this moment. To deposit this excess of, yes, whatever. Now, coal train, get out of here. You're not helping me, and that doesn't look right anyway. Coal. Coal weight 2 that these things are supposed to go to. Coal weight 2, yes. And coal weight 2. Until circuit condition, there we go. Right, that's fine. So, I think the best thing for me to do at this point is to kind of get out of range of all of this, order in some tanks and some pumps. And then finish off the delete and rebuild. So I'll probably just get to that point, and then I think I'll call the episode, because it's not going to, it's going to take a little bit of time, especially at this speed, to finish up. Once the construction project's over, the UPS should recover quite a bit, though, I think. So, I think it's a dozen tanks, is it? It should say here. 24? Really? That seems like more than we need. Unless they're missing from somewhere else as well. 3. Or maybe it is 24. I suppose it can't hurt getting 24 then. Can always send them back. Doesn't really matter if we overbuild some of these supplies. So, in that case, let's just order 30 of these things. Oops, not 40, 30. Tanks and these guys as well. Let's get 30 or 40 of them as well. So that's all outside now, is it? Because none of those have power. Alright, we better go and establish their power. Basically, to finish this up, what I'm going to do is obviously delete this whole bit here, because these have to move down, and then when I have completely deleted all of that, or deleted to around here somewhere, I will then stamp this back down so that the bots can start rebuilding the bits that are supposed to be here. See how much of that we get to, and then we'll have to fill in the bits that end up being outside the networks, the natural networks of the bots. Gather up all of the construction bots, or just about all of them, so we can use them again or put them somewhere else. Wow, this is slow. 6 legs. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like we're at the beginning of the game again. Not to worry. This should be worth it in the end. Okay, I temporarily want you guys to be powered up again. There. Oh, do none of these things have... oh God. Yeah, guys, I think I'll... look, we'll have this sorted shortly, I think. So, if I grab one of those... Yeah. And then I can... grab these power poles, so that we can temporarily bring some of these others back online again. Oops, is that enough? Sort it out. Not really. These haven't placed anything yet, have they? Oh, I can't get through the oil. Do I have any of these over here? Doesn't look like it. Looks like I need some more requested chests. Alright, well, I'll sort this mess out, guys, and show you the results at the beginning of the next. Thanks for joining me for this. We'll shortly have this, well, the Southwest oil. The other one's going to be a little bit more challenging, but we'll see what we can do next episode. See you then, guys. Bye-bye for now.